A very good evening to you. Many thanks for making time to be with us here on Lookuptv. This is the Spotlight on the 25th day of September 2023. Now a day when a lot has been happening across the country. Top among them is President William Ruto launching the community health workers community health promoters here in the capital, Nairobi. Now, apart from that, there is the ongoing debate after Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei'S did allude to making a proposal or made a proposal in regards to the presidential term limit, proposing that the limit should be extended from the current 5 to 7. Now, that particular proposal has been thrashed by the United Democratic Alliance, led by the Secretary General and former Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala. Alongside that is that today the bipartisan talks or the dialogue teams between the Kenya Kwanza and Azimio dialogue teams did meet yet again as they took, of course, suggestions, and of course I did hear from various petitioners or stakeholders in different sectors just to get to understand what do Kenyans across all different sectors in the country want the committee to address. Now, all those stories on our bulletin tonight. First of all, let's have a look at what's making headlines tonight. Tonight on the Spotlight.
I, Ranson Mulele Ngonga, I will at all times and to the best of my knowledge, without any fear, favor, bias.
Change of guard at the DPP offices as Mulele takes oath of office, replacing Nordin Haji. Day 23 of the National Dialogue Engagements. The Interreligious Council of Kenya proposes the removal of boundaries delimitation function from the IEBC as political parties call for the audit of the 2022 elections. And we respect but do not support. UDA party distances itself from the proposal of Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei'S to increase presidential term limits. Remember, you can watch this particular bulletin across all our social media platforms at Lookuptv, across all the platforms. Now, welcome to the program. I am Ian Keitani, and our sign language interpreter is Justin Oko. We kickstart this bulletin with Matters Health, and President William Ruto has assured Nairobi community health promoters that they will not experience any delays in receiving their stipends. He spoke on Monday at Uhuru Park in Nairobi, where he was flagging off the distribution of 100,000 kits to be used by community health workers in household screening.
President William Ruto has flagged off 100,000 kits to be used by community health workers in the dream of realizing a successful universal health coverage in the counties. According to the Ministry of Health, the kits will be essential tools for household screening by the community health promoters.
This program, I am told by the Ministry of Health, has been in their books, has been in their plans for the last 17 years. But I am very proud that today we are actualizing the dream and the aspirations of many Kenyans who have always wanted health delivered at the household level.
Addressing CHPs at Uhuru Park in Nairobi County, Ruto has ascertained that their salary will be disbursed on time. For a long time, universal health coverage has been facing challenges to realize its actualization. However, the national government has promised to fulfill its agenda.
We are going to partner with them to make sure that our community health promoters have a stipend every month. And we are going to co-share a shilling for a shilling with our county governments so that these men and women, the good people who have volunteered their time, energy, and resources to make sure that they visit our homes, we are now going to reward them with a stipend.
Cabinet Secretary for Health, Susan Humicha, has revealed that training of the workers is complete, a health plan that is being succeeded in joint efforts with USAID.
This is a momentous occasion as we live up to the promise in the Kenya Kwanza plan. The flagging off of our community health promoters kit is the actualization of a cherished vision, a vision that resonates with the ideals of universal health coverage and community well-being. We will only achieve UHC through strengthening primary health care, afya mashinani, and empowering community health services, which we rightly call afya nyumbani.
Ruto says that promoters will play a vital role in decongesting hospitals in the county, noting that minor illnesses will be diagnosed and treated at a community level.
Every health promoter in Kenya, the 100,000 of them, each one of them will be equipped by the government of Kenya with a kit that they can use for making sure that they can access every household in Kenya. And we have split every community health promoter with 100 households in every part of the Republic of Kenya.
Additionally, the president has said that this can only be achieved by both national and county governments working together, explaining that both are expected to fund this plan. Governor Sakaja, speaking at the event, as well endorsed the president's remarks.
As governors, we are grateful for your partnership. We acknowledge devolution is not a competition. Devolution is a partnership between both levels of government. The national government is important, the county governments are important. A bird that is flying cannot ask which wing is important for it to fly, the left wing or the right wing. It needs both wings.
Cherargei'S, Lookuptv.
Of course, health was one of the pillars that President William Ruto said he will. One of the things that President William Ruto assured Kenyans that he will make sure that healthcare, everybody in the country is able to access healthcare without any problems. It is a matter that we'll be following up for you, just to ensure that all the 47 counties will be able to come together with the national government to ensure that this particular program is a success. And talking about President William Ruto, Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei has said he will not be intimidated to drop the proposal he made in Parliament over the increment of presidential term limits. Speaking when he addressed the media at the Parliament buildings here in the capital Nairobi, Cherargei said his proposal was made for the interest of the people of Kenya. This comes as UDA party distances itself from the proposal.
So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I wrote to the National Dialogue Committee.
The proposal by Nandi Senator Samson Cherargei to increase the presidential term limit has been met with criticism from different quarters, with the ruling party through its Secretary General Cleophas Malala distancing itself from the views of the senator. Through a statement, the party argues that the UDA party respects and upholds the senator's personal views, but particularly on the reference subject, those views do not reflect the perspectives of the UDA party or its party leader, His Excellency President William Ruto. The president solemnly swore to respect, uphold and defend the constitution, which is abundantly clear and categorical on the presidential term limit. Cherargei on Friday submitted a proposal to the National Dialogue Committee to propose the increase of the presidential term limit, arguing that the current term limit is not enough for the president to deliver on his promises.
I know there is this small matter of extension of presidential term limit. I have explained that in 5 years, this country is in campaign mode. 1 year is lost during that preceding an election because of campaign. Immediately after election, we lose 1 year through the litigation process and formation of cabinet, settling down of government. So in total, you lose 2 years in 5 years, which only reduces 3 years for government to work. I think we would be expecting the miracles that happened 2,000 years ago of Jesus Christ for somebody to transform the country within 3 years. And therefore, I'm proposing that let us move to 7 years so that we desist from putting the country into a continuous campaign mode.
The Nandi senator, responding to critics, called on the bipartisan team to respect all views submitted.
That is why I thought I should give the correct perspective of what I'm proposing, and I'm willing to follow through. What I'm urging the National Dialogue Committee is not to be swayed by collective emotional blackmail by individuals, not to hear each and every opinion. The beauty of this country and democracy is that we should respect each other. We should respect the opinion and the expression that we share as a country so that we move forward into the future of limitless opportunities.
The proposal has been vehemently opposed across political divide. Brian Amwai, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Thank you very much, Brian Amwai, for that particular story. It is a story that is not the first time that a politician or sitting MP or senator is proposing the changing of the term limits from 5 years to around 7 years. But it's something that will be following up for you in the days to come. Moving forward, the political parties' liaison committee has called for an audit of the 2022 presidential election results. Appearing before the National Dialogue Committee at Bomas of Kenya on Monday, the PPLC say that the audit will eliminate doubts about the results announced by IEBC.
On Monday, which saw more stakeholders increasingly presenting their grievances before the National Dialogue Committee on the ongoing bipartisan talks, it was the turn of the Political Parties Liaison Committee, which is now proposing amendments in the law against the financial allocation of the political parties. Discussion increasingly touching important issues including boundary adjustments in the country, the sensitive issue of the reform of the IEBC Commission, and the high cost of living menace among other issues as quoted in the 5-point agenda before the Dialogue Committee.
Our issue is very basic. We are saying discipline in political parties. Political parties are the ones that are bringing democracy within the republic. We are requesting that we have timelines. In presidential elections, we have 14 days. In MPs, we have 60 days, 6 months. So we are saying the law should be changed so that we have timelines within which to finalize these disputes. And then we change the law a bit so that we can have support and enhancement for political parties so that we don't have, like so many political parties are complaining, their MPs, their MCAs have lined away from them.
Interreligious Council now wants the government to stop new development projects to address the chronic wound of the cost of living, calling on the politicians to consider the laws and rules of their respective political parties that ascended them to power while addressing the infidelity to party stalemate as raised.
Our plea, our submission here is that Kenyans must not be given these levies at the same time, because we all know the cost of living has gone so high, and we need to cushion Kenyans from...
Right. If suspended by your party, you're out, for sure. If the party sponsored you, and you're out. But then for the first time, why did your members go to the other way?
Representatives from the National Youth Council had an opportunity to defend their proposal to demand the passage of their bill into law to enable matters youth to be addressed, appealing to the committee to ensure employment and inclusion into the decision-making process in the national matters.
So what we need to be able to give the youth of this country is an opportunity to represent them, to represent themselves, and also to be able to be part of the people who are making decisions for this country.
Also, leaders from the Sabaot area, while defending their propositions before the committee, have signaled for talks around the creation of Mount Elgon County, which will be made up of 3 constituencies: Endebess, Sabaot, and Mount Elgon, located at the border of Bungoma and Trans Nzoia counties.
May this be the last time that this community is coming to present the same issue that relates to boundaries, that relates to being governed under one administration and feeling part and parcel of this nation.
Sisi kama watu wa Sabaot yetu ilikuwa ni kukuja tu kutoa maoni yetu kulingana na vile constitution inasema, na tukaeleza kwa hiyo legal framework, na tukaeleza kwa political framework na vile kuko sahihi.
Now to a story that is seen as a boost in the fight against corruption. Renson Mulele Ingonga was on Monday sworn in as the new Director of Public Prosecutions. The event was presided over by President William Ruto State House in Nairobi. Mulele takes over from Nordin Haji, who left the ODPP after he was picked by President Ruto as the new Director of the National Intelligence Service.
I, Renson Mulele Ingonga.
After being approved by the National Assembly for the position of the Director of Public Prosecutions, Renson Mulele was today morning sworn in as the new DPP.
Do solemnly affirm that I will well and truly serve the people and the Republic of Kenya in the office of the Director of Public Prosecutions.
After taking the oath of office, Mulele was called upon to ensure corruption is no longer the order of the day, with President Ruto calling upon the office of the ODPP to ensure that the fight against corruption is won.
As you begin your tenure, remember that you are not alone. You have a nation standing firmly behind you, supporting your every effort to ensure that the law is justly administered and that the rights of all are respected. May your tenure as the Director of Public Prosecution be marked by triumph of justice, and may you stand as an inspiring example of integrity and dedication to duty. The property of the people of Kenya, the resources of the people of Kenya are not abused, they are not wasted, they are not stolen, and through corruption, the people of Kenya don't lose. I am very clear in my mind as to where we want to go on this matter, and we will defeat corruption.
With high-profile cases against politicians dropped in the recent past, Mulele was urged by President Ruto to ensure that justice is served and everyone is answerable regardless of how powerful they are, while assuring the office of the ODPP of the executive's full support.
It is your duty as the head of the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution to ensure that non-partisan, uniform, consistent, and high-quality prosecutorial actions are always the benchmark of your office. Without fear or favor, without different standards for big fish versus small fish, without avoiding actions against the so-called sacred cows, you have been mandated by Kenyans to ensure that justice reigns on all equally. You have the support of the executive, and the presence of all these leaders here is testimony, and of every state organ, of both tiers of government and all three arms of government.
As the judicial system in the country remains on the spot, President Ruto remains confident that the criminal justice system will work, with the Chief Justice Martha Koome noting that the judiciary will work hand in hand with the office of the ODPP in rooting out corruption.
I am very confident that the criminal justice system will work with you to make sure that we deliver to the people of Kenya that which they expect. The presence of so many others.
We stand ready to welcome you to the family of NCJ and to assure you that we will collaborate as partners and work with you to deliver on your mandate. We believe in a shared vision of a just, efficient, and effective justice system, and one that serves our citizens with the fairness and timeliness that they deserve.
Ian Keitani, Lookuptv. That particular story was produced by Brian Amwai. And on that note, we come to the end of the first segment here on the Spotlight on Lookuptv. We are going on a short breather, but we'll be back with more news items on this particular bulletin. So don't go away.
We got good news for you. You have the opportunity to win up to 100,000 shillings cash money from Kuza Biz. It's easy to participate. Just open M-Pesa, Lipa na M-Pesa, account number 825454, account name right, Lookuptv, then deposit 99 shillings only. Remember, the more you participate, the more the chances of winning. Hurry now and be one of the winners of the Daily Cash Awards.
This game is BCLB licensed and is not open to persons under the age of 18 years. Play responsibly.
Are you looking for experts in waterproofing systems, concrete admixtures, flooring systems, refurbishment solutions, roofing, sealing and bonding, and building finishing systems? Look no more, as Sika Kenya got you covered. With over 113 years of experience, we offer our customers a comprehensive one-stop shop experience and the best technical support. Our products are available in all leading hardware stores and building merchants across the country. Call us today on 0711 140 232 or 0786 140 834, or email us on sales@ke.sika.com. Sika Kenya, building trust.
Rafiki, toka mbele ya kamera nionekana niko Mkuru kwa Ruben. Na niko na mshindi wetu wa loto wa leo hapa Mkuru kwa Ruben. Unaitwa nani ndugu yangu?
Steven Kinuthia.
Umecheza loto kwa muda upi?
Nimecheza kwa mwaka huu kianza kuanzia January.
Kutoka Januari?
Kuanzia January.
Umecheza na hela ngapi hivi?
Nimecheza na 100.
Mnakumbuka nduru ulipiga pale kwa nyumba? Majirani walisema nini?
Walikuwa wameshtuka sana. Amekuwa wazimu, amekuwa pongoni ama nini? Nikasema tu ni Mungu tu amefikisha. Mambo ikakuwa poa.
Oye, siku yako ilifika. Niambie aje 1800 itakusaidiaje kwa maisha yako?
Mimi kwanza ni kazi, napenda kazi sana. Alafu hiyo mambo ingine kwanza nitakuwa na hardware hata kubwa. Nitengeneze hardware, niweke stock. Alafu mambo mengine naachia Mungu.
Na huenda kesho ikawa ni wewe tunatembelea kwa sababu loto inabadilisha maisha. Tunasema changing lives. Ama aje watu wa Mkuru kwa Ruben. Nakwambia changamka, cheza loto.
Over 18s only. Gaming can be addictive. Play responsibly. This message has been approved by the BCLB.
Now, thank you very much for staying with us. Now, as climate change becomes a threat to human and wildlife conflict, Samburu County women take part in conservation of black rhinos to escape pastoralism dependency. However, conservation on the black rhino, which is on the verge of extinction, having recorded a success of increasing, the number of these rare species from 10 in 2015 to 22 in 2023.
In a joyful mood, Samburu women dressed in their appealing cultural beaded attires moved towards the venue where the sensitization of black rhino conservation is set to take place. They then joined the KWS officers in the calm environment where they are actively listening to the KWS speaker. The Samburu community has been actively engaging in conservation of the black rhino, whereas the community says their conservation efforts have empowered them over time as it creates employment to the local community as well as earning them an income. Conservation of black rhino has made Samburu women realize the importance of black rhino that was non-existent in the 1970s, and they are up to task in conjunction with the community to ensure no poachers invade the conservation.
Na wakati huu jamii iliweza kuona umuhimu wake. Umuhimu wa kwanza tuliona tukileta wanyama watoto wetu watapata ajira ya kazi. Pia tutaweza kuinua maisha yetu kama jamii kwa sababu tutapata wazungu wale wataweza kuja.
Samburu Region KWS Warden Daniel Kirui, he says that poaching is no longer a major threat in the Samburu area as the community is always alert on protecting these rhinos.
Sahi changamoto ya ile uwindaji haramu tumeweza kuisimamisha. So ile changamoto kubwa ambaye tunazo kwa sasa ni mambo ya ubadilikaji wa tabia ya nchi ama climatic change. Sababu mambo ya kiangazi haiwezi affect jamii peke yake ama binadamu peke yake, ina affect also wanyama wa pori, na hiyo ndio inaleta ile human wildlife conflict kidogo inakuja juu, because wanyama wa pori na binadamu na pia mifugo wanang'ania ile maji kidogo inabaki, so hapo kidogo inakuanga na changamoto.
Ivy Wangolo, Lookuptv.
On to the Senate Mashinani, and the leadership of the County Assembly is now calling on the government to ensure that the 32 Kenyans sentenced to 20 years in prison are brought back home. Now speaking during a session between the leadership of the County Assembly and that of the Senate, the leaders also called upon the government to ensure the rehabilitation of key infrastructure in the county in a bid to boost tourism.
This county has had issues of insecurity, extreme issues, very many issues. The latest and the most burning issues is the issues of Kenyans who have been court-martialed in the Republic of Uganda. And these are purely pastoralists. The situation under which they were arrested is not very clear. They were duped, and suddenly they were rounded. It's our appeal as a community of Turkana to request the Senate to make some intervention of this matter so that we can secure release of these Kenyans who have been held on the other side. Our appeal as the county assembly or as the leadership of Turkana is to have the government find some funds to have this road from Lodwar to the lake fixed so that the tourism in this region be boosted. We wouldn't wish to have a situation where only the negative is read about the Turkana County. We have moved away from that negative terrain.
Because you're aware that the primary role of the Senate is to protect devolution, the counties and their governments. And by extension, the county assemblies are partners of the Senate. They are brothers at the grassroots. Just like you said, your big brothers and big sisters are here, and certainly you need to feel their presence even when they've long left. I believe that will be so. We view county assemblies as partners. Others, you stifle the leadership freedom. You stifle their space to exercise the leadership, hence nab their growth. But again, those governors who feel like they will never want to give the county assembly that kind of autonomy for reasons better known to them. But for me, if you need to have effective oversight over your county government, you need that independence.
Moving forward, the Kenya Anglican Men's Association in Kirinyaga County now wants the government to have a change in strategy in the fight against alcohol, drugs and substance abuse if the war is to be won. This and more in our County News Wrap.
As the fight against alcoholism gains momentum in the country, the Kenyan Anglican Men Association in Kirinyaga County wants the government to change the strategy if at all the war is to be won. The association argues that the current strategies will not amount to anything.
In central Kenya now, we have people who are already too deep into that catastrophe, if I may call it that way. These people, because of the nature of the effects of alcoholism that they are suffering from, it is almost impossible for the administrators, that is the chief, the sub-chief, and all those in that sector, to demand that this person stops taking or consuming alcohol immediately.
Elsewhere, leaders from Garissa have hit out at the government, the United Nations and other interested parties for doing little to protect the environment that has been destroyed by the refugees in Dabab and Liboi sub-counties.
We came because of this huge, massive destruction. This is something unacceptable. We always knew that refugees, who of course we are welcome to our midst, we knew that they were cutting trees for fuel, for their cooking requirements. But we never imagined that a day will come when they will cause such massive destruction.
The message to the refugees, I'll also share the same with the UNHCR organs. This obviously cannot continue. The continued process that really converted an otherwise green area into a desert. So soon, if we don't take an action, this will be a vast desert.
Finally, there was tension on Sunday at the PCA Church Kitengela after a court ruling that the 2-acre piece of land which PCA Kitengela Township and a primary school sit on belongs to EPZA. The processor and the church have been entangled in a dispute for 9 years, and the church was given 60 days to vacate the land. Janet Koech, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Now on to matters sports. The Kenya national women football team, Harambee Starlets, held their last training session today ahead of their second leg WAFCON qualifiers match against Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon tomorrow. The group stage face-off is scheduled to be played at the Nyayo National Stadium at 3 p.m. Felix Solana tells us more.
Kenya national football women's team Harambee Starlets has today Monday held their last training session ahead of the Women Africa Cup of Nations group stages encounter against Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon. The Beldino Demba-led side is scheduled to play the Indomitable Lionesses tomorrow on Tuesday at Nyayo Stadium. Starlets lost by a solitary goal in their first encounter played at Douala, Cameroon. Harambee Starlets tactician Beldino Demba says the team is fully prepared for the face-off.
Feeling iko high kwa camp, spirits ziko high kwa camp. Wasichana walijisukuma vizuri. Cameroon uliona tulipata very slim lose. Ni kitu tunaweza tukarecover. Hiyo ndio plan yetu.
In the meantime, she has urged Kenyans to attend the match and give massive support to the ladies in their quest to qualify for the 2024 WAFCON competition.
Fans naweza omba waje na waje kwa wingi. Starlets imekuwa ikipata a lot of positive vibes from the fans. Fans wamekuwa kitokea. Kenyans believe in us. Wakija stadium kuona wajaze stadium watakuwa wamecheza role kubwa sana. Tunaomba waweze kuomba maruhusa kutoka makazini. It's not a good day, ni weekday, but watu wakiweza kupata ruhusa waje, itakuwa nzuri sana kwetu kama team.
Felix Solana, Lookup Sports.
Well, do make sure that tomorrow you get yourself, or make sure you make your way to the Nyayo National Stadium to support the Beldino Demba-led side. Maybe the likes of AC Akida and Gentrix Shikangwe can be able to turn things around to ensure that Harambee Starlets do qualify to the next round. It would be an injustice for me to work out, to finish this bulletin without having a word for Chelsea fans. Remember, Chelsea did lose 1-0 to Aston Villa yesterday. Chelsea are just sitting 14th on the Premier League log with 4 points from 6 games. The only team with more dreaded players than wins this season, and only one win so far this year. That win coming against Bournemouth in May 2023. Tough times ahead. With that, we've come to the end of this particular bulletin here on Lookuptv, but do remember that it's Monday, and if it's Monday, it's Matters Sports. And Tony Kolanda and Cedric Oronde will be coming to you with unlocking peak performance in Matters Sports. That will be coming to you in a few minutes from now. But for me, that is where I wrap up. Until tomorrow, do have yourself a lovely night, and like always, God bless.
We value your feedback and welcome your complaints about our programming and operations. Feel free to get in touch with us through 07